Imagine spending $250 million on a beloved fairy tale remake only to get demolished by a movie about blocks and zombies. That's exactly what happened when Disney's Snow White crashed into theaters while Minecraft casually walked away with the box office crown. This isn't just about numbers. It's about a cultural shift that Hollywood still doesn't understand.
Snow White releases today. It's currently sitting at 46% on Rotten Tomatoes. You know, this thing has to be really, really bad. I mean, the critics were looking for any excuse to give it a high score. They know that conservatives don't like Rachel Zegler. Like, even they couldn't find a way to pretend that this piece of trash is anything but a piece of trash.
Disney has been desperately trying to recapture magic lately, but their strategy feels more like a therapy session than actual filmmaking. Every remake follows the same tired formula. Take a beloved classic, strip away what made it special, inject modern messaging, and act surprised when audiences don't show up. The Little Mermaid barely stayed afloat financially, Pinocchio landed with a thud, and Peter Pan and Wendy disappeared faster than Tinkerbell's fairy dust. But Snow White? That wasn't just a failure, it was a full-blown identity crisis playing out in IMAX. The numbers tell a brutal story. A reported $270 million production budget, marketing costs pushing the total investment well over $350 million. Disney needed this film to clear nearly $700 million just to break even. Instead, they're staring at a $160 million global haul that makes even their biggest flops look respectable by comparison. At the center of this storm stood Rachel Zegler, a talented young actress who somehow managed to torpedo her own film before it even hit theaters. During what might go down as one of the most self-destructive press tours in Disney history, Zegler didn't just promote Snow White, she practically apologized for it.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story. With a guy who literally stalks her. Yeah. Weird.
The backlash was immediate and intense. Fans weren't rejecting diversity or female empowerment, they were rejecting the condescending attitude toward a story they loved. If you hate everything about Snow White, why star in Snow White? That's like accepting a role as Batman while announcing you think superheroes are childish and capes are stupid. The disconnect was staggering. Disney wasn't reimagining the fairy tale, they were apologizing for it while still asking audiences to pay premium prices for tickets. Quote, "The fairest of them all is now the most just," declared the marketing, as if justice and beauty were somehow mutually exclusive concepts that couldn't coexist in a fictional character. The modernization approach fell flat because it fundamentally misunderstood what audiences actually want from these stories. People don't go to fairy tales for contemporary politics. They go for escape, for wonder, for the emotional connections that transcend our daily struggles. The original Snow White wasn't perfect by modern standards, but it understood something crucial that the remake forgot. Entertainment should prioritize emotional connection over intellectual lecturing. Instead of thoughtful updates that honored the spirit while gently modernizing outdated elements, viewers got what felt like a corporate PowerPoint presentation disguised as entertainment. Just as the controversy seemed to be cooling, South Park detonated a satirical bomb with their Into the Pandaverse special. Without ever directly naming Disney, the show created a devastating parody that had audiences howling with recognition. The special featured an AI version of a Hollywood executive, traveling through dimensions to replace beloved characters with versions that lectured audiences while expressing contempt for male characters. What made the satire so effective wasn't just that it was funny, it was that it articulated what many viewers had been feeling. The special portrayed a Hollywood machine so obsessed with appearing progressive that it had forgotten how to tell compelling stories. The parallels to Disney's recent output were unmistakable, and social media immediately connected the dots to Snow White. The special became the conversational shorthand for everything wrong with modern remakes.
I had a dream that I was replaced by a diverse woman.
Oh, not again.
Will you check under the bed and make sure there's no Disney executives under there?
So much so that getting pandaversed entered the cultural lexicon as slang for when a beloved property gets reimagined with contempt for its own source material. The box office battle revealed a fundamental truth about entertainment that Hollywood executives keep forgetting. Audiences can tell the difference between authentic creativity and corporate calculation. Minecraft wasn't trying to be important, it was simply trying to be fun. It didn't position itself as a commentary or try to elevate the source material. It understood that entertainment should be entertaining first, with any messaging flowing naturally from character and story, rather than being imposed from above.
What's this junk?
An ender pearl. Teleports you to wherever you throw it.
Yeah, right.
And that was the only one I had.
What's particularly tragic about Snow White is that a thoughtful modernization could have worked brilliantly. There were legitimate elements of 1937 film that could have been updated without disrupting the core appeal. Snow White could have maintained her kindness while developing more agency. The romance could have evolved into something more mutual without being dismissed entirely. Instead, Disney opted for what felt like a wholesale rejection of the original, creating something that neither satisfied traditionalists nor offered enough unique vision to attract new fans. They fell into the trap that's ensnaring so much of Hollywood, assuming that criticism from a vocal minority on social media represents the views of their broader audience. The lesson isn't that studios should never update classics or that female empowerment narratives don't work. Wonder Woman, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and numerous other films have proven that audiences will enthusiastically embrace strong female characters when they're part of compelling stories, rather than obvious messaging vehicles.
The message of the movie is to be that. That's the message that they wrote a script that's telling girls, I don't need nobody tells me I'm a 20-year-old girl, so obviously I should run my mouth all the time. That's the theme of the new Snow White.
No, really?
Yes!
The issue is authenticity. Audiences can smell when something is created from genuine passion versus corporate calculation. This authenticity gap explains why Minecraft succeeded where Snow White failed. The Minecraft team approached their adaptation with genuine love for the source material. They understood what made the game special to millions of players worldwide and sought to translate that experience rather than correct it. They added depth while preserving the whimsy, creativity, and sense of limitless possibility that makes Minecraft beloved. As Minecraft continues building its box office empire and Snow White fades into a cautionary footnote, the message for Hollywood couldn't be clearer. Respect your audience, honor your source material, and remember that entertainment should actually entertain. Authenticity trumps calculation, heart beats messaging, fun outperforms lectures. The audience isn't resistant to change, they're resistant to condescension. They don't mind evolution, they mind erasure. They're not asking for perfectly preserved nostalgia, they're asking for thoughtful adaptation that understands why they fell in love with these stories in the first place. What do you think? Was Rachel Zegler unfairly blamed for Snow White's failure, or did her approach to the press tour reveal deeper problems with Disney's remake strategy? Should studios stop mining nostalgia altogether or just change how they approach these beloved stories? The conversation isn't over, it's just beginning. Just when the controversy might have died down, Zegler posted what she likely thought would be a charming TikTok. The video showed her and friends arriving at a nearly empty theater with flowers in hand, as if attending a premiere. 2 tickets, please, she announced proudly to a confused ticket attendant who didn't even know what movie they were there for. What was meant to be a playful moment instead became a perfect metaphor for the entire Snow White debacle, a grand entrance to a party no one was attending. The timing couldn't have been worse. Just as Snow White was struggling to fill seats, Minecraft was creating the kind of authentic cultural phenomenon studios dream about. With no controversy, no lectures, and no disrespect to its source material, the blocky adaptation pulled in a staggering $300 million in its opening weekend globally. The contrast wasn't just stark, it was humiliating. What made the Minecraft phenomenon even more remarkable was how unexpected it was. Critics had dismissed it as too simple and merely functional. Industry analysts predicted modest returns at best, but audiences didn't just show up, they created an entire cultural movement around it. The secret to Minecraft's success wasn't complicated. The film understood and respected its audience. It didn't try to fix Minecraft or apologize for it. It celebrated what people already loved about the game. It added depth and emotion without contradicting the core appeal. Jack Black's performance as Notch was electric, bringing genuine enthusiasm and joy to both the character and the promotion. During interviews, Black didn't roll his eyes at the source material or hint that he was somehow elevating it. He embraced it wholeheartedly. His press tour was completely opposite from Zegler's, passionate, respectful, and genuinely excited to share the experience with fans. "I love this game, man," Black exclaimed in interviews, describing how he played it with his own kids. "It's creative. It's wild. It's full of possibilities. We didn't need to reinvent it. We just wanted to bring that same joy to the big screen." The contrast in attitudes couldn't have been clearer. One star approached their role with reverence, the other with the energy of someone forced to explain why their younger sibling's artwork deserved space on the refrigerator. The The results spoke for themselves. Theaters were packed with everyone from young kids experiencing their first movie to teenagers infamously dressed in suits as part of a viral trend to parents who found themselves genuinely enjoying the experience. Reports came in of screenings where audiences cheered, laughed, and applauded. The exact emotional response that Disney remakes once generated but had increasingly lost touch with. I took my daughter to see Snow White and she was bored, one parent wrote in a viral social media post. I took her to see Minecraft and she talked about it for days. That's the difference between a movie made to check boxes and a movie made to entertain. In the end, the audience chose heart over lectures. What do you think? Was Rachel Zegler unfairly blamed, or did Disney forget who their real fans are? Drop your thoughts below.